our Sagepay webinar. Today we're going to discuss about top tips on how to increase your Christmas sales. I'm Sangeeta Narasimhan, I'm the marketing manager and I'll be your host for today. If you have any questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask them at the end of the webinar. Our presenter today is Francesca. Francesca is here she's our enterprise relationship manager. She manages some of our top Sagepay accounts and she has a lot of experience working with e-commerce customers and our face-to-face customers. Hello, Francesca.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sangeeta. Hi, everyone. I'm Francesca and I'll be your presenter today. And thank you very much for joining us for this webinar. So, just to get started, a little Christmas gift for any of you who like to tweet. So if you can tweet us your Christmas 2015 predictions, you'll be in with a chance of winning a £25 Amazon voucher. So you just need to do that with the hashtag SPTips. So just to get us started, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Sagepay is part of the Sage Group, which is a FTSE 100 company. We're Europe's leading independent payment service provider and we process millions of secure payments for over 50,000 customers every year. To support our customers, we provide UK-based telephone support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we thought we'd start the webinar with a quick look back over Christmas 2014. So businesses know that Christmas is a great opportunity for them to increase their revenue both online and in store. Before I go into the tips, I thought it would be interesting to highlight a few stats from 2014. Last year, online Christmas spending was predicted to be £17 billion, but in fact it was a huge 21 billion. That was a 14% increase from 2013. If this trend continues, you can expect Christmas overall to be good for most businesses, and as a result, Christmas online spending could be the best ever yet. So when we look at the impact of sales during Christmas season, 20% of all online sales came during this period. That's about 6 weeks of the year. So that goes to show the importance of prepping your store to attract and convert browsers into customers during this season. So today, this webinar will go through a few tips that can help your business achieve just that. Our first tip of the webinar is to start prepping your business now for the rush in November. Although most people think that the Christmas purchasing boom happens in December, businesses need to prep themselves for the big spending surge in November. So last year, 39% of consumers did most of their shopping before November the 28th. So it's critical that your business is ready well in advance of the December rush. So our second tip helps you prepare your website for the frenzy of Christmas shopping. The first thing you really need to do is check your site's bandwidth. At the beginning of December 2014 last year, we all know that a few major high street retailers were among people that experienced problems with their website due to the huge amount of traffic that went through it. Be prepared for a similar uplift in traffic to make sure you don't turn customers away because of bandwidth issues. Speak to your server host and see if they can expand your bandwidth. Next, you need to declutter and optimize your website and make it clear that you're running Christmas promotions. So, plan to declutter your website so that the front page focuses almost exclusively on your sales to grab attention as shoppers hit your site. If you take the time to better organize your website and content, you can help lower your bounce rate and keep customers on your site longer. So we've used an example of office shoes today. So you'll see from this that the menu is across the top of the website, which is common best practice, and the basket page is visible throughout the website. And you'll see from the stat on the slide that 75% of successful large businesses feature the shopping basket on the homepage. You always want to be reminding the customer that they want to buy and make a purchase. So, the last tip we have here about optimizing your website is to show stock levels, which is a great way to increase sales and promote a sense of urgency. If you're down to your last bit of stock, let customers know and be clear that when it's gone, it's gone. In this way, customers are more likely to purchase then and there instead of going away to mull it over and potentially forgetting about making a purchase. So in line with our first tip is being ready for Cyber Monday, which coincides with the last payday before Christmas. So on Cyber Monday alone, Sagepay predict over 600 million being spent in 24 hours. That's almost £7,000 every second. All of this is driven by online visits, which we predicted to be 125 million within 24 hours. That's pretty big numbers. For 2015, Cyber Monday will actually fall on Monday, November the 30th. So with peak purchasing times being between 12 and 2 p.m. So most people will be browsing over their lunch hours. Similar to that, again later in the evening when people are getting home from work, they'll be buying via laptops, PCs and tablets. So typically Mondays have always been the strongest online shopping days. However, providing deeper discounts on Cyber Monday proves to be hugely successful for e-tailers, with online sales recorded at 23.3% higher than the previous Monday. So my third tip is to gear yourself up for Cyber Monday. Consider what online discounts and bundles you can offer and stock up for those extra orders. And remember that people will start purchasing early in November, with Mondays being the most popular day of the week. So the fourth tip we have is focusing on pre-Christmas advertising. So get your mail outs ready in November. Whether these are direct mailers or email promotions, it's essential to get these early so you can keep the sales momentum going after Christmas. These communications will help generate interest and buzz for your brand. In addition, think about flash sales or limited time offers to help generate a sense of urgency. You can communicate this out to your existing customers to draw in new customers also. One thing that ties these things together is to get social. So similar to what we're doing today, getting you to tweet along, if you get your tweets and Facebook posts ready and scheduled, you'll appreciate having all of this ready in advance when you're busy with everything else. The key thing is to remember about social media and how businesses use it to encourage word-of-mouth marketing. Technology has increased social connectivity, making it easier for your customers to do the marketing for you. In fact, 85% of fans on brands on Facebook recommend brands to others. 43% of consumers are likely to buy a new product when learning about it on social media, and 77% of consumers are likely to buy a product when they've learned about it from family and friends. So when crafting up your social strategy for December, it's important to think about how you can promote your products and services, how you engage with your existing customers and ask them to be social on your behalf. Our last recommendation is for you to retarget your potential customers. A lot of consumers will do the equivalent of window shopping online. You can work with online agencies to retarget customers and draw them back to your site by displaying pay-per-click banners or adverts of the items they looked at on your website while they're shopping somewhere else online. Take it from me, that works every time. All of these tips will help you drive more traffic to your online store for the Christmas shopping frenzy. So now that you've set up your website to handle the traffic and optimized it to make the customer experience easy, the next thing you need to think about is how you can convert those website visits into buyers. The key thing to consider is how you can deliver a frictionless payments experience for your customers. One way to do this is to offer a single-click checkout experience. Your customers' card details are encrypted and transmitted as a series of unique random digits. This is also known as a token. Having submitted their details once, every future purchase only requires the customer to identify themselves, either with a unique password or the 3-digit identification number on the back of most cards. That basically makes it quick and simple and easy for them to pay each and every time. Amazon is a really great example of how to use single-click purchasing. You see the item, click purchase now, and the sale is made straight away, all whilst remaining on the product page. It's quick, simple, and easy. Those businesses that we surveyed who use tokenized payments, almost 40% of them have seen an improvement in conversion rates from using this service. So we definitely recommend considering that. So our next tip again is focusing on the customer experience. So once the customer is ready to pay, it's essential for them to be able to make a purchase using their preferred payment type. You need to give your customers payment options online. In fact, our research also uncovered that 36% of shoppers said that they would be more likely to shop where there's a range of payment options. So my sixth tip is to consider alternative payment options, where we've delivered a few of those online for you. So, moving on to our next tip, and this is one that comes up in pretty much every customer meeting I have. 55% of consumers say that fraud is their highest priority when making a payment. And not only is fraud a big issue for consumers, it is for any business as well. From a payment landscape report, we found that the average business lost £3,450 to fraud in the last year, and 42% of businesses don't actually know if they're PCI compliant. To ensure a secure experience for your customers and to safeguard your business against losses during this busy season, your business needs to work out what is acceptable to you in terms of fraud rules, and if you haven't already, maybe consider looking at fraud screening tools that would fit your business and further protect you. So, a recent IBM report on Christmas 2013 found that online sales from mobiles, which covers both smartphones and tablets, continues to increase. For Cyber Monday 2014, over a third of all online sales came from mobile devices, which is huge, a growth of over 94% compared to the previous year. So I think that shows everyone how important it is that we need to really concentrate on mobile moving forward. So, our last set of tips go beyond the online experience. A lot of successful businesses are realizing that having an offline and online shopping experience is critical, but instead of seeing this as a competition between their online stores and offline, high street retailers are combining the two and creating a whole new shopping experience. So they're basically bringing in online shopping in store. This gives benefits to both consumers and to businesses. It allows you to present a unique experience to consumers and to take advantage of a single view of incoming payments. As well as that, you can take the customer's transaction there and then, so rather if you don't have stock in store, if they were to leave, you'd lose the payment, you can then order it for them online. Setting up a store might not be something easily done, but you could always consider pop-up booths or markets or even festivals to get your feet wet. If there's a time to test out, it's definitely now. On the same theme, we've seen an increase of 275% of contactless payments in 2014. And similar to this, customers are demanding speed and payments to mirror the experience they get online. So waiting in queues is something they're not willing to deal with anymore. 69% of consumers will actually leave if they have to wait in line for more than 3 minutes. So contactless facilitates the speed and convenience of payments, and with companies like Apple Pay jumping on board, it's a trend businesses can't ignore. So moving back to the previous slide, so apologies we missed that one out. Taking cards in store. So if you're looking to take payments face to face, to really maximise your revenue potential, we want to emphasise the importance of accepting card payments. So 2015 is set to prove a pivotal year as the UK moves towards a cashless society. The UK Payments Council is predicting 400 million fewer card transactions this year, while cashless payments will rise to 700 million. Consumers want to use plastic because it's convenient, quick, secure. For those businesses who have a storefront, it's becoming increasingly important to accept card payments, and it'll help you with the influx of business you'll get over the Christmas season. So, our final tip has to do with your accounts. So Sagepay has a complete integration with Sage Accounts. Instead of spending hours slaving away over your Excel spreadsheets, you can automatically upload and reconcile all your transactions within your Sage software, freeing up your very valuable time to do other things. So, again, don't forget to tweet us. If you want to send us a tweet and be in a chance of winning a £25 Amazon voucher, if you just send a tweet with #SPTips, and obviously we'll pick the winning one. Thanks for your time today, guys, and I'm just going to hand back over to Sangeeta.
Thanks, Fran. Just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. The way to ask questions is there's a question panel on your GoToWebinar panel. You should be able to see a plus sign. Please do type in your questions and we'll be happy to answer them. Our first question of the day is from John. He's asked about, can you expand on your fraud screening tools?
Yeah, so we've worked with a couple of different providers to offer additional fraud screening for our customers. So as a standard, we offer the address and postcode verification checks with your bank, as well as the CB2 checks, which is your 3-digit code on the back of your card. 3D Secure, again, is also included as standard. In addition, on your account for free, we also offer a fraud advisory service, which basically gives you a fraud score for every transaction you process. So it works in a traffic light system where it will come back with either a low risk score, medium risk, or high risk to try and give you a bit more information on what you would do with that order. Alternatively, we also work with ACI Worldwide, who offer a bespoke fraud screening service where everything can be tailored to your business. So they look at previous chargeback history, they look at particular products you might have a problem with, and really drill down and make sure that the rules on there are very bespoke and protecting you as best as possible.
The next question is about, what is Sagepay going to do to guarantee uptime during the packed peak Christmas period? I think we've had 100% availability last Christmas, so it's definitely we are very confident to say that Sagepay does put in extra resources. We have a 24/7 customer support that doesn't go down over the Christmas period. So even if you have any queries on fraud and stuff like that, many vendors do call us over Christmas period. So, and we do have extra staff to monitor the transactions and everything. And I think we've seen the results last Christmas. We didn't have a single downtime. Is it possible to improve conversions on the Sagepay payment page?
Yeah, completely. I mean, we do offer customized templates as well, so you can still use the Sagepay payment pages, but you can tweak them to make them a little bit more customized to your website, so it keeps the same look and feel, so the customer doesn't really feel like they're being moved away from you. As well as that, we've actually released some mobile optimized payment pages. So again, if your customers use a mobile and tablet, which from the stats we went through, a lot of people are, instantly they're going to get that easier checkout. It's reducing the amount of scrolling and things like that, so it should up conversion. And again, Token, which is the service we talked about, the one-click shopping, is also compatible with the Sagepay payment pages. So again, the less you're asking customers to do, the better. So there's always ways of cutting that and making it shorter, even if you're using our payment pages.
How important is it for SMEs to be PCI compliant?
Really important. I mean, from most people's perspective, we would always, recommend not storing any card details, things like that. There is the odd occasion where you might, generally, most things like that would be redirected and left for experts, which are us. But we would always recommend making sure that you're PCI compliant. It's something that's being really enforced these days, and for your customers' peace of mind, it should be really high on the priority list.
Could you talk about the pros and cons of using PayPal on Sagepay?
Yeah, so with PayPal, we do have an integration which basically allows it to appear as another payment type on the payment page. So with that, obviously your payments appear alongside all of your normal card transactions within the My Sagepay portal that we provide you with. So you can basically do any reconciliation from there, you can refund payments from there, so it keeps everything streamlined. Cons, I'm not too sure, I can't really think any off the top of my head. I mean, I think it very much depends on what you would prefer as a business. We do have some people who keep it separated, purely because they find that easier, but then we have so many people from the reconciliation point of view prefer everything to be in one place. We're finding that more and more customers are changing to the PayPal integration.
What is involved in converting to single-click payments?
So it's only compatible with our server and direct integration. But what we can do is, if anyone's interested in that after the webinar, we can send a link out where you can download the integration guide. But most popular modules out there now that work with Sagepay have already got this built in. So it's just a case of getting in touch with Sagepay to get it turned on and turn it on within your website integration.
This is a bit of a tricky question. How can we assure a non-tech savvy customer that we are not a fraudulent retailer?
This is a good one actually, because customers, can get quite nervous about making payments. But I do think that when you're using a very well-known payment provider with a brand like Sagepay, if you have that on, displayed on your homepage that you use us, your payments are secured by Sagepay, that gives the confidence to the customer. It's something that's a well-known brand that they'll see on many other websites. So from their perspective, they'll feel a lot more secure putting a payment through.
Yeah, but also as a website, there are other things to do, like having Trustpilot rating. And I think there was an interesting webinar on Trustpilot, which was very well attended, which we did, I think, 2 months before. So if you drop us a line, I'd be happy to send you the link to that webinar. But there are other things that you could do as well. Yeah. So the next question is, do I have to pay extra to make our PayPal account into a business account? I think we'll take that question.
We'll take that one.
That.
I think that might be one more for PayPal, but we can certainly get in touch and try and help you with that one.
Yeah. Does the additional fraud features cost extra per month?
So your standard features such as address and postcode, etc., are all included, and so is the basic fraud screening. The ACI is an extra cost, so if you're interested in that, I'd recommend contacting the Sagepay sales team, and they should be able to give you more information on the cost.
And someone's asked us about extra costs for checkout templates.
So if that's in regards to the customized templates we offer, that's free of charge from us. So they're available on our website where your developers can download them, along with instructions of how they can change the different files in there to make it look and feel more like your own site. And that's completely free from our perspective. It's just something else that we thought would be useful to our customers. So yes, you can get that on the Sagepay website.
I think there are a lot more questions actually, so let me just go through some of them. I think what we'll do is, do you want to answer the one on?
So we've got one about, someone was asking about international payment types where a lot of customers are outside of the UK, so they've not necessarily heard of Sagepay. So we're making quite a few key partnerships at the moment with payment types outside of the UK. So Germany is a really good example where they don't really pay with debit or credit cards. They tend to pay with online bank transfer, such as GiroPay. So we're looking all the time at what payment options we can support, our customers with. So we've got quite a few available already. So we'll send some information out on that afterwards as well.
Yeah, but you've already touched on SoFort and GiroPay, EPS. So if you have anything outside that, someone's also asked us about China Union Pay. I think we're working on the integrations, right?
Yes, that's available for in-store payments, but it's not online at the moment, but I know that is something that we are looking at.
Yeah. I think that's all we have time for now, but we will definitely answer any unanswered questions in our follow-up email. There will be a recording available after this webinar closes. And we will be emailing you with all the details next Monday or Tuesday. So if there are any other questions, please feel free to keep asking us, and we look forward to seeing you on our next webinar.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.